Spotify is the home of audio.
Spotify launches, inspires, and builds audio creators around the world.
We're making something that you would want to listen to forever.
I'm a music lover before a music maker, so for me, Spotify is obviously the biggest discovery tool.
There's so much opportunity for music to travel, and fan bases to broaden out to different corners of the globe.
You guys are doing all the hard work to spread our music.
Music is where we started, but it's not where we're going to stop.
We've expanded the very format of podcasting itself.
Welcome to our first podcast on Spotify.
Over 100 million connections were made between users and new podcast hosts.
Batman Unburied, an audio series only on Spotify.
They call this seat hot for a reason.
Let's do this. You ready?
I'm like geeking out that I think video has taken the show to the next level.
Spotify has helped create audio experiences that simply were not possible before.
All I dreamed about was people listening to my music, how to touch more hearts.
And with our tools, everyone, everywhere can create.
Spotify is a platform that is transparent. You are able to see your growth as an artist.
Playlisting has really changed my life in a big way, and I'm so grateful to everyone at Spotify.
We amplify different voices.
For new talent, it's life-changing.
Spotify on a personal level have supported me from the beginning. I love the community they've created. I'm really proud to be a Spotify artist.
We have become the leading platform for creators and listeners. Artists and creators, welcome home.
Welcome to StreamOdd. This is the second time we've hosted this event, and I'm thrilled to be here with you in LA. And this room is full of artists and podcasters and authors, and virtually, we're joined by a global creative audience. And I know many of you are tuning in to hear what's next for Spotify, but I want to be crystal clear that today's event is for you, the creators. And it was really important to me to do our first in-person StreamOdd here in LA, a city that's long been a beacon for creative voices from all over the world. And it's a place that's overflowing with energy, and I think sparks of magic are literally everywhere. LA is the home to some of the most well-known and beloved creators, but it's also home to countless dreamers that's just starting out in pursuit of their passion. And this is also what we're building here at Spotify, the best home for creators, where you can establish your career and where the world can be inspired by your creativity. A place where you can thrive and grow, really no matter what stage you're at in your career. And that's been our mission from the start. When we founded Spotify in 2006, the music industry was in a free fall. So the fundamental question everyone was asking was a big and important one: is the music industry doomed? Or could it be reimagined and still be a sustainable career for talented artists around the world? And now, more than 15 years later, we know that that answer is yes. More and more artists are finding success through streaming, and we also know that means more artists than ever are entering into the arena, which of course means more great content and more competition, because as the opportunity grows, so does the interest. But the data clearly shows that far more artists are making a living off of their music than at any other time in recorded music history. In fact, in 2022, if you looked at the list of the top earning artists, we estimate that even the 50,000th most streamed artist on Spotify generated more than $50,000 across all recorded revenue sources. And in light of that, it may not be all that surprising to hear that Spotify's payouts to the music industry since our founding is approaching $40 billion. And that makes us the single biggest source of revenue for the entire music industry. And these are just some of the stats that we're sharing in our annual Loud and Clear report today. And you'll hear much more about this in just a few minutes. But we predict that there's still a lot of growth ahead for music. Because as we continue to provide better tools for artists, labels, and their teams, we also expect to unlock even more ways to find success. So as we think about meaningful revenue, we aren't just limiting it to royalties. We're thinking about everything from merch to ticket sales to customizable storefronts and even live events. And we're investing in new ways to drive music commerce. And we will have much more to share as this work evolves. The music industry is healthier and more diverse than ever before, and we remain committed to furthering its success. And that's just the beginning. In the last few years, we've also expanded beyond music to include a new category of audio creators on Spotify, podcasters and audiobook authors. And as we entered into this space a few years ago, a new question emerged, which is, can talk creators, podcasters, and authors find the same level of success as music artists and also build sustainable careers? And because of what we learned and accomplished on the music side, I believe here too, the answer is an unequivocal yes. And while we still got a lot of work to do, the opportunity is massive. So how's it going? Well, 2022 was a huge year for talk, and I think it clearly demonstrates that we're gaining a lot of traction. And it's not just in established podcast markets like North America or Europe, but it's really around the entire world. So let's take Brazil, for example. Brazil has emerged as one of our fastest growing new markets, and it's now the second largest podcast market in the world. And then there's India, which is quickly gaining ground as a close third. So if we zoom out for a moment, we've gone from just about 10 million podcast listeners in 2018 to more than 100 million today. And that's more than 10x growth in just a few years. And we also announced our entry into audiobooks in 2022, launching in 5 countries with a huge catalog of content that our users have been requesting for years. So is the experience ultimately what we think it can be? No. But we're planting our flag, and it's a really important step to get us rolling. And even though it's early, we're already seeing authors embrace our platform in really innovative ways. So one of my personal favorites is Brandon Sanderson. He's a widely popular sci-fi and fantasy writer, and on the heels of his record-breaking Kickstarter campaign to help fund his latest series, Brandon chose to partner with Spotify because he was so excited about our approach. So as part of his campaign, he offered each backer a unique code which allowed them to listen to the book. And the outcome was super positive, with around 40% of his Kickstarter backers choosing to listen to the book on Spotify. And in response to the success of this collaboration, Brandon then chose to purchase additional thousands of redemption codes to include in his book bundles to allow more readers to also be able to listen to the book on their favorite audio platform. And later this year, you'll hear much more about our work in audiobooks, but today's event is really going to be focused on how we're going to support our creators in music and podcast. And we're here to highlight how you can better grow your audience, engage with your fans, and monetize your work. Because I think it's really in this place between creator tools and a consumer experience where the magic happens. And that brings us to the really big news for today. So we are excited to introduce an entirely new and updated Spotify experience. And you're gonna see and hear much more about this from Gustav in just a few moments, but I wanted to offer a little bit of background. We hear the same things again and again from the creator community. Get me closer to the fans, give me more ways to engage, and help me better monetize. So we are delivering just that. This all-new Spotify experience not only meets your expectations and matches your ambition, but it also gives your fans more of what they want, which is you, the artist, the podcaster, the author. And this marks the biggest change Spotify has undergone since we introduced mobile 10 years ago. It's an all-new interface with more space to showcase your individuality and creativity, helping you chart new pathways to success on your own terms. So from audio to video, we're giving you the resources to grow your audience by arming you with better tools, which means more control over your art than ever before. So today, you'll get a first look at what's next for Spotify. And some of this is already live, some of this will be debuting today, and even more will roll out in the coming weeks and months ahead. In the past, you likely thought of Spotify as being the best destination for listening. But today, this evolution is really about bringing Spotify to life. We want to infuse the platform with the same energy and creativity that I feel every time I have a chance to sit alongside an artist or creator and feel their passion as they tell their stories. So while we're going to build on many of the things that you like the most about Spotify today is really about hanging out a new shingle to let creators everywhere know that Spotify is open for business. We're adapting to better meet your needs. So I'll preview just a few highlights of what we'll cover today. But we're going to give you better tools and more data. We're going to develop more ways to engage with your audience and be discovered. We're going to create more room for you to play. We're going to enable more creativity and personalization when it comes to what you're sharing with your fans. We're going to help you build out adjacent businesses like merch and ticket sales. And finally, we're going to provide you with support and mentorship, especially for up-and-coming artists. Today, there are over 10 million creators on Spotify, and we recently passed 500 million monthly listeners across 184 countries and markets. So think about the massive potential that represents for you. No matter where you are in your career as an artist, podcaster, or author, the potential here is to reach more than 500 million people. And as you'll see, that reach is about to become even more powerful. So creators, welcome to your new home. But to understand where we're going, let's take a quick look at where we've been.
Can't talk, got a beat in my headphones. Sorry, not sorry. Can't hear you calling. One woman party. Cause I'm feeling like hoodie, sneakers, keys and phone. Music, shuffle, move along. Can't talk, got a beat in my headphones. Can't talk, got a beat in my headphones. Can't talk, got a beat in my headphones.
Wow, what a journey. Even for me, it's incredible to see the evolution of what we built. On any given day, millions of people on Spotify find themselves listening to a song, podcast, or an audiobook created by someone they never heard of before. These discoveries drive everything we do. And users tell us that every day they find something new to love on Spotify. These days, Spotify recommendations drive close to half of all user streams. What's more, each time your music gets played on a program playlist like Release Radar, you receive, on average, 3 times more stream from that listener over the next 6 months. And when a listener decides to follow you, they listen to, on average, 5 times more of your music. That's why discoveries on Spotify, unlike many other platforms, give creators so much more than just a fleeting moment of viral fame. Those meaningful, long-term connections are a key part of what makes Spotify a platform for professional and aspiring artists. We're already leading the industry in giving users and creators the best discovery experience when they're playing music in the background, with their phones in their pockets. And we're proud of that. But there are other moments in the discovery journey when audio is more than just background. Moments when users want to actively see a creator, to learn about them and engage with them. So we decided to evolve Spotify, to also provide an incredibly engaging foreground discovery. That took a lot of investment and reimagination. As Daniel mentioned, this is one of the biggest changes since Spotify's inception. A change that makes the best home for creators even better. Let's face it, the world today pulls us in a million different directions. So the most important thing that we at Spotify can do for creators is to reduce the distance between your art and the people who love it, or who would love it as soon as they discovered it. The new Spotify home feed solves that problem. It leads listeners straight into your world without even a single tap. Today, we're proud to introduce, for the very first time, the brand new Spotify. And it begins with the home feed. This is a completely new experience that you'll see come to life throughout the coming weeks and months. It's powered by advanced recommendations and leverages new visual canvases and a completely new and interactive design. The Spotify we're revealing today is built to feel alive. The interface is dynamic. It's easier than ever to scroll and swipe, and loaded with all new ways for listeners to enjoy your work. The reimagined home feed will show better recommendations from your favorites to fresh content with richly animated images and videos. When you open Spotify, you'll still find all of your go-to music and podcasts in the shortcuts section up top. These are some of my favorites. But now, down below, you'll also find new ways to explore songs and artists. And for you, the creator, we're introducing an even easier way to get your work noticed: previews. When your friends are talking about a new movie, what do? Well, you check out the trailer, right?
So I took the bird up to my apartment where my roommates Travis and Julian were and told them what happened. And they thought...
We launched podcast trailers on the show page a few years ago, and everyone loves them. But we knew we could go further. So we talked to creators and users from all over the world and combined their insights with our cutting-edge machine learning. And together, we created a feature that's both automatic for creators and intuitive for users. Today, Spotify is the first platform to enable truly seamless previews across music, podcast, and audiobooks. They let you explore much more in far less time. Listeners will now be able to see and hear short clips powered by machine learning right in the home feed, making it much easier for them to discover the content that we think they'll love.
Bonjour à tous, bienvenue à nouveau sur notre joli canapé 6 places. Aujourd'hui, j'ai un casting royal.
So this means that they can check out a preview before deciding to listen to a full playlist, podcast, or book. And our tests show that this leads to more listeners becoming committed fans. So now, when I open my home screen, I won't have to choose what I might be interested in just based on a cover art that I've never seen before, or an episode name that I've never heard of. Instead, I can instantly hear the most interesting part of a song or an episode without a single tap.
Every life ends with 2 dates on its tombstone: the day of arrival and the day of transition.
So that's home. Now, let me take you through our dedicated feeds for music, podcast, and audiobooks. When users open the music feed, looking for their current favorite track or playlist, they can still find it easily at the top. Here are my favorites again. And below that, users will now see recommendations of new music We Think They're Loud, as well as our brand new personal DJ, but I'll come back to that later. Listeners can tap through multiple songs to explore a playlist right in the feed and get a taste before committing to the whole thing.
One too many tip-offs. Should have just left you from the get.
And on the visual side, we're bringing artist canvases straight into the music feed to give users the opportunity to truly engage with you and your work. So before, I just see a song title or a static album cover, but now I can actually see you, the artist, in a canvas, just like these. That means that the hundreds of millions of people who open Spotify will now see more of you and your work. So for artists, this is a powerful new way for you to entice that all-important first listen. And because it's easy for users to save a song or follow an artist, more of them will become lifelong fans. The same goes for podcasts and shows. Podcasters everywhere know that podcasts have been notoriously hard to discover. So we designed this new feed to offer fans way more opportunities to learn about your work with very little effort. We're also seeing explosive growth of video podcasts on Spotify, with more than 70,000 podcasters adding video to their podcast in a very short time, like here with Higher Learning. And users tell us they love being able to switch between watching and listening to your podcasts.
If you're watching the video version of this and you keep seeing me look at the floor, it's because there's the biggest bug. I don't know what it is. It looks like a spider. Where even is it now? Now I'm scared.
But until today, video publishing has only been available to creators hosting on our Anchor podcast platform. But starting right now, any creator, regardless of platform, can sign up to be among the first to get access to this feature and start expanding their audience. We're excited about the possibilities this will bring. As you can see, podcasters, including ones like Emma Chamberlain, are already having lots of fun with video. Next, let's talk about audiobooks. So if podcasts have been hard to discover, audiobooks have been almost impossible. So we're bringing all of this innovation and discovery to audiobooks as well. I've got a long trip coming up, so I'm looking for an audiobook for the flight. This one has been recommended to me. Now, I could purchase that or just keep on browsing and find even more that sound interesting.
I think human beings must have faith, or must look for faith.
In the middle of the ocean, there was a girl who lived upon a rock.
You've just seen how easy audio discovery can be on Spotify. Discovery guides every step we take. But as I've mentioned, it's not just fleeting viral fame. It's discovery that endures. The new Spotify is designed to help users discover content that drives deep, meaningful, and long-lasting engagement. So while we are building very effective mechanisms for discovery, we are not optimizing for time spent in the feed like other platforms. Spotify optimizes for helping you discover content to listen to later. This actually helps users get through the feed as fast as possible, rather than trying to make them stay as long as possible. What we measure is how many songs and episodes listeners have saved for later. We think this optimization will be a step change in how easy it will be to discover new music, podcasts, and audiobooks. Our goal is not to steal time. It is to help users save time. More than 8 years ago, we introduced editorial and algorithmic playlists, innovations that changed how people listen to music and helped the industry return to global growth. But let's face it, today, that's old news. It's time to innovate on music listening all over again. So recently, we released a new feature that is already changing how the world listens to music. We call it DJ.
Hey, what's going on, Stream On crew? It's really great to be here with you in sunny California. I'm Xavier, my friends call me X, and from this moment on, I'm gonna be your own personal AI DJ on Spotify. Yeah, I'm an AI, but I'm all about music. Your music.
DJ is a new AI-powered, fully personalized experience that reimagines how listeners hear and discover the music they love. It transforms Spotify from a music tool into a living, breathing, interactive music experience. To tell you more about what you can expect from DJ, I'd like to invite to the stage the man behind the voice, X.
Hey everybody, what's up? Hey everybody, what's up? Y'all gotta talk back to me. Hey everybody. What's up? I'm X. Hey, for those of you who don't know me, I've been in the industry and here at Spotify for a long time. Now I've gotten to wear a bunch of hats across our music and cultural partnerships teams. So I've had a front row seat seeing discovery evolve from multiple angles. Discovery and the technology that drives it has always set Spotify apart. We launched our first personalized playlist, Discover Weekly, all the way back in 2015. It's actually still one of the features our listeners tell us they love most. Listeners around the world rely on Discovery to find new songs, but with more than 100 million tracks on Spotify, they have a lot to choose from. That can be overwhelming. At Spotify, we have hundreds of musical experts from every corner of the map. It's like they're DJing for the whole planet. But our dream was always to give everyone their own personal DJ, explaining the world of music, their music, just to them. So that's what we built. Now, when I don't know what I feel like listening to, DJ has my back, bringing me something it knows I'll love, like this.
Next, I got Steve Lacy, who hails from Compton. He started his career as a member of the band The Internet. Then in 2017, Steve's first solo track, Dark Red, was added to Spotify's Fresh Finds playlist. Since then, his catalog spans across a range of genres from bedroom pop to rock, and he recently won a Grammy for Best Progressive R&B Album. Here's his breakout hit, Bad Habit.
I can listen to my voice all day. That's the surreal thrill of having your own AI voice coming back at you, saying words that I never actually spoke. How crazy is that? By incorporating human voice traits such as pacing, projection, and emphasis, DJ is expressive, emotional, and ready to do the heavy lifting for you, searching through the latest music, looking back at your old favorites, and delivering a stream of songs picked just for you at the exact moment in time. To use this feature, just press play, and you'll get a lineup of music exclusively for you, along with personalized commentary, which comes from our music editors, tapping into generative AI. And just like Discover Weekly, it gets better with time, because DJ learns with you. So if the song isn't the vibe I'm looking for right now, I can just hit the DJ icon in the corner and get served the new one. But now, I'm gonna pass the mic back to Gustav to tell you about even more ways we're bringing discovery into all kinds of audio. Thanks. Peace.
Thanks, X. So now, when I'm on my long drive to work or just listening to a few songs to clear my head, having someone to guide me through the music and explain why I'm hearing that song is a game changer. Whether I listened to it last summer or it's just trending because of a new Netflix or HBO episode. DJ is one of the key ways that Spotify is coming alive. That sense that every surface of the app is just waiting to help you connect more deeply with your audience. Now I want to tell you about a few more updates that make this the best Spotify experience ever. As we talked about, sometimes a user wants Spotify to take the wheel. But other times, they might want to find that next song all on their own. That's why we're also offering a whole new way to discover music in search and browse. These new discovery feeds are for those moments when users know the genre they want to listen to, but they need help finding new inspiration. Or when they want to explore a new genre that they've just heard of but aren't familiar with yet. Here, users will see visual clips of new songs suggested just for them. So if you're an artist, you will have a better chance than ever of attracting new fans.
I need to spin my wheels.
Listeners will also be able to explore related genres using hashtags, all to help them expand their taste and explore new music and artists. This feed makes it easier to find amazing new music, share it with friends, and add it to playlists. As of today, users will also be able to preview tracks in playlists like Rap Caviar, Hot Country, and Mood Booster before jumping in. But sometimes, listeners want to create their own playlist, like the mixtape that I grew up on. The perfect playlist does more than just pull together great songs. It captures a key moment in time, like a great trip, breakup, or a move to a new city. Maybe it's been a while since they listened to that playlist every day, but it still means something to them. They love those old songs. But they're also eager to find more songs that perfectly fit and extend that moment. Enter Smart Shuffle, a dynamic new way to get your music onto the favorite playlist of your next biggest fans. This feature breathes new life into listeners' playlists by recommending and visualizing additional songs that perfectly connect with the playlist feeling. And it's already rolling out worldwide. So the next time they're ready to refresh a playlist, they can tap the shuffle icon and we'll throw the right new songs into the mix. These features make it easier than ever to discover new music. But what about podcasts? Well, we thought about that too. The result is our all-new discovery tool, Autoplay for Podcasts. So now, just like with music, when a podcast ends, we'll automatically start playing another episode that fits your taste and is relevant. So when you've got another mile on your run, but you've reached the end of your episode, don't worry. We'll have another podcast perfectly lined up to keep you going. All of the features that I've shared this morning are just the start of the new Spotify. As we've been designing and building, our focus has been on delivering an experience that's alive with interactivity and a platform that's full of potential for artistic expression. Many of these new features are available as of today, and the rest will roll out in the coming weeks and months. So keep an eye out. So whether you're a musician, podcaster, or an author, the evolution that we unveiled today will give you more space than ever to share your work and more opportunities to be discovered. We can't wait to see and hear what you do. Here to share even more are my colleagues, Selena and Joe.
My name is Selena Ong, and I'm Spotify's Global Head of Editorial.
And I'm Joe Hadley, Global Head of Artist Partnerships and Audience.
I have the best job in the world, and it's to listen to new music and curate it on Spotify.
And I spend my days collaborating with artist teams, building campaigns to attract new audiences, and creating new opportunities.
The Spotify music team is in this business because we live for music. We are here to serve you, artists and songwriters.
In order to grow your audiences and turn listeners into fans, you need the most powerful tools to promote your art and ultimately earn. Streaming has lowered barriers to entry, and as a result, millions of musicians have the opportunity to connect with 500 million listeners from around the world. We're proud to enable that. Now, our primary focus is on supporting artists who are making music their career. Our tools and services and the updates we're about to share with you today are geared toward the roughly 200,000 professional and professionally aspiring artists from around the world. Before joining Spotify last year, I represented a wide range of artists. I know how important Spotify is to an artist's earnings, and we want it to be even more important in the years to come. We pay the vast majority of every dollar we generate from music, nearly 70%, back to the industry. All-time Spotify payouts are approaching $40 billion to the music industry, and that doesn't even account for new revenue streams. We're helping you build them, including tickets and merch.
We think you should know where all that money comes from and where it's going. That's why we're proud to share that today we've updated our annual music royalties report loud and clear. We're the only streaming service that makes this level of royalty data available. Loud and Clear details the number of artists generating different amounts of royalties per year, whether $10,000 or $10 million. And as of this morning, the site has been updated to cover all of 2022. And it's complete with material on how Spotify pays your rights holders and distributors. Loud and Clear offers a crash course on where every penny of that money goes.
In another era of the music business, most of that money would go to a handful of the world's biggest superstars. But today, in the streaming era, more artists than ever are generating revenue. Last year, 57,000 artists generated more than $10,000 from Spotify alone. That's more than twice the number of artists than just 5 years ago. And if you take into account what they earn from other streaming services and recorded revenue streams, these artists are likely generating 4 times that amount from recorded music sources overall.
This is a global renaissance, providing artists more options to build their careers, whether they're on major labels, indie labels, or independently distributed. Of these 57,000 artists, over 20,000 live outside the top 10 music markets, and a quarter of them self-release their music through an independent distributor. Artists who in the past might have struggled to find opportunities are now finding their audiences and making a living. Our global reach, combined with our programming, is creating space for all new types of artists to find an audience and turn them into fans. Let's meet some of these artists from around the world.
Music from around the world has really gained popularity due to streaming. From Korea, from Southeast Asia, from Africa, some of the biggest artists in the world and the most important genres.
Spotify brings that extra force that also pushes the music to a global place.
You can literally make a song and blow up the next day, and that can change the whole sound.
It opened up a portal, I think, to discover ourselves, to reinvent ourselves.
As the streams grow, so do the amount of people that are aware of what my music is, and that definitely opens doors.
The money that I've made from streams has allowed me to make art without having to compromise the vision.
Spotify gives me an incredible line of communication with my fan base. They take risks and push the creative.
I'm ready for love.
The world is waiting for us.
We've been building our subscriptions and advertising business for over a decade, resulting in the biggest payouts in music history. But let's talk about the next revenue line we want to help you grow: music commerce. In other words, merchandise and live events. When you think about connecting your fans with t-shirts or vinyl or getting them to see you on tour, it makes sense to meet them where they are. And your fans are listening to your music on Spotify. Let's get into how we're helping you with that and what you can look forward to.
For too long, fans have had to search different websites and platforms to find tour dates from their favorite artists. We want to make sure fans never miss out. So we've been busy integrating your touring schedules across the app and promoting shows to your biggest Spotify listeners. In 2022, we listed over 840,000 concerts on Spotify. Going forward, Spotify listeners will start to see personalized concert listings featured more prominently across the app. Across the homepage, browse. This is playlists, the artist pick and on-tour sections of your profile, and the live events feed as well.
We're also going to surface your upcoming gigs and our Now Playing view. It's one of the most powerful places to market your shows and will grab your listeners' attention right when your music resonates most. If a concert listing catches your fan's eye, they'll be able to hit an interested button. That way, they can check back anytime on their own personal calendar in the live events feed.
This year, we're also expanding the pool of artists who are eligible for our Fans First program in the US. Fans First ensures that your top listeners are first in line for merch exclusives and ticket pre-sales by sending them emails and notifications to let them know when they have special access. Going forward, we're going to partner with even more of you and your teams to build exclusive and custom fan experiences.
And of course, no concert is complete without the merch table. Your merch sells best alongside your music, which is why we've made sure it's on your artist profile, your album and single pages, and even your top fans' rap recaps. We're also going to start adding it to the Now Playing view. That way, fans can buy the merch right at the moment they're falling in love with your song.
We talk to artists all day, every day. And the number one challenge we hear about is how hard it is to find those next fans, to get that first listen. And sure, it's easier than ever to release new music around the world in an instant, and that's a great thing. But the hustle is more intense than ever.
Trying to go viral with a video, posting on every social media app, even buying old school ads, artists are doing whatever it takes to get attention. Marketing music on these digital platforms that aren't built for music is exhausting and frankly, not very effective. So we've been working closely with artists, labels, and management partners to design a suite of tools. Tools that find the fans who love your music most where it matters most. Here are a few of the new features you'll soon find in the campaign section of Spotify for Artists.
Let's start with Marquee, which is already a big part of an artist and label's release strategy. It's one of the most effective tools out there to market new releases. Marquee offers a full-screen sponsored recommendation of your new release. It focuses on reaching listeners who have shown interest in your music. Recently, we've been working with marketers across 8 labels and distributors to find out just how much more effective Marquee is than leading off-platform marketing options. The answer? On average, Marquee is 10 times more cost-effective at getting listeners to stream your music on Spotify than ads on the most popular social media platforms.
Another tool that's taken off is Discovery Mode. Algorithmic recommendations are critical on audio and video streaming platforms. On Spotify, 1/3 of all new artist discoveries happen that way. But there really hasn't been a way to make those recommendations work with your strategies until now. Here's how to use Discovery Mode. Together, you and your team identify priority songs, and we'll add the signal to the algorithms that shape personalized listening sessions. So if your song is resonating with listeners, Discovery Mode will increase the likelihood that it's recommended in both radio and autoplay. Every month, you'll be able to see reporting to understand how many new listeners you reach, how many added you to playlists, and how often your songs were saved. So far, we've been in testing mode, but the results speak for themselves. On average, we've seen users save Discovery Mode songs 50% more often, add them to playlists 44% more, and follow the artist 37% more. And that's just within a song's first month of Discovery Mode use. Those results have stayed strong as we've scaled up the program, so now we're ready to take that one step further. While labels can continue to access Discovery Mode directly through our team, I'm excited that Discovery Mode is now available directly within Spotify for Artists today. Now, thousands of independently distributed artists and labels have access to Discovery Mode.
And finally, we're excited to share a new audience development tool we're testing, Showcase. This will appear as a mobile card on our brand new home feed and will introduce your music, whether a new release or catalog, to likely listeners. We're just starting to test Showcase with artists and labels, and we'll make it more widely available in the near future. Now, with the addition of Showcase, Spotify for Artists offers you and your teams a robust suite of promotional tools. You can reach people right when they're deciding what to listen to, target listeners based on their streaming history, and get data that actually tells you how the tool's performed.
Streaming already democratized access to music for listeners. With these new tools, we're democratizing access to marketing for artists. No matter your size, no matter your budget, we're helping more and more artists market their music at scale.
Then there's the all-important new album release moment. Today, building that buzz requires artists and their teams to work across multiple platforms and services. And once again, there's a disconnect between where music is being teased and where music is actually being streamed. The most powerful time to reach fans is when they've chosen to engage with music, when they open up Spotify. That's why we've built a new tool called Countdown Pages.
Behind me, you can see the brand new countdown page for Subtract, the new album from Ed Sheeran. These countdown pages provide dedicated space on your artist profiles and on our home feed for your fans to watch the timer countdown to your new release. Fans who pre-save your album will get push notified when it's released. and we'll automatically add your album to their library so they can start streaming.
To tell you more about them, I'd like to welcome to the stage a group that certainly knows how to drum up excitement for a new release. Please welcome the Jonas Brothers.
Hi, we're the Jonas Brothers, and we are so excited to be here with you today. We have a special connection with our fans. They've been supporting us since our very first album.
And we're always looking for opportunities to give them a first look at everything we make.
That's why we're excited to start using Countdown Pages, a new tool that Spotify is starting to roll out today. Between our upcoming world tour and our new album, The Album, coming out this May, the timing could not be better.
We're not the only ones excited about Countdown Pages. Let's hear from a few other artists who are getting in on it as well.
So I'm really excited about Spotify's new Countdown page.
Today, Spotify is launching this new experience to all other artists around the world.
I've seen firsthand how the country music followers can discover videos from me.
And count down together until the album comes out.
I wouldn't be where I am today if not for the personal connection that I have with my fans. Countdown Pages is just another way to deepen that connection.
The upcoming album, This Is Me Now, coming out this summer. Yes, you heard it here first. I'm super excited. Spotify is beginning to roll these pages out to more artists around the world, letting them bring their own personalized strategy to each and every album.
I love you. I les mando muchos besitos. And I'm out. I'm off because I'm going to listen to my new album, Mañana Será Bonito, here on Spotify.
We've been testing Countdown Pages with Karol G, Taylor Swift, Florence and the Machine, Måneskin, Sam Smith, and many others. And the results really have been stunning. On average, 80% of pre-savers stream the new release within the first week. Based on that success, we're rolling out Countdown Pages to more artists through Spotify for Artists starting now.
We couldn't be more excited to bring Countdown Pages to life, but we'd be doing you a disservice if we limited your video clips to Countdown Pages. So we're making them available in every place your music lives on Spotify.
Video, of course, gives music a powerful boost. But on social media, music often gets hacked into sound bites and pushed into the background. Sound biting music pressures artists to take time away from creating art, to try and sync it with memes. Now, if an artist is lucky, a listener might seek out the whole song, but artists and their teams tell us it's actually far from guaranteed. And it's in that spirit that we're expanding our video ecosystem, keeping music at center stage where it belongs, a space where artists can connect with the biggest music fans, create long-term relationships, and build careers that last.
Starting today and expanding to more artists in more places over the next few months, Spotify will begin to let artists add 30-second videos to their artist profiles and album pages. That way, new listeners and their biggest fans can go deeper into their stories while they're listening. We call these videos Spotify Clips. Let's hear from an artist who's excited to tell you more about this feature. Please welcome Chloe.
Hi, everyone. My name is Chloe, and it's great to be here at Stream On. Maybe you heard, but I'm gearing up for the release of my debut solo album, In Pieces, and I am so very excited. Each song on this project stems from my own personal experiences, so it's important to be able to connect with my fans on a deeper level. That's why I am so excited to be here to talk about Spotify Clips, a really powerful way for artists to interact with fans. You can talk about an unreleased song, promote a new album, share the stories behind a song, or really anything you can come up with. New listeners will be able to learn more about you, and loyal fans will be able to spend more time with you. Spotify is unlocking this feature for thousands of artists this week, and will open it up to more artists throughout the spring. Here are a few artists already testing it out.
Spotify Clips is an amazing way for artists to connect with fans on an even deeper level.
We're about to get closer than we have ever been before.
This has been in the works for a while. Express the immersive world that I come up with for every album.
And no one's ever seen these before.
And even share the stories behind some of the music.
Spotify Clips are going to help you all see how fucking strange I am.
eyes peeled for more. And while music remains the core of Spotify's identity, it's not the only area where they're breaking new ground for creator and audiences. Next, I'll pass the mic to Julie McNamara to share what's next with podcast. Thanks, Spotify.
Hi, everyone. I lead the Global Podcast Studios, and I get to work with many of the most talented podcasters in the world. It's hard to believe that just over 5 years ago, podcast growth was treading water, ad spending was minimal, and Spotify had just a fraction of market share. That was the state of the industry when we began investing in podcasting. Spotify had transformed the music industry, and we knew we could do the same thing here, connecting creators with hundreds of millions of listeners around the world. Today, podcasting has exploded on Spotify. We now have millions of podcasts on our platform. And in 2022 alone, 165 of our own productions, meaning our original and exclusive series, hit #1 on the charts across 99 markets. According to Edison Research, we also have the widest network reach among Gen Z and young millennials. Here's just a sampling of the power of podcasting on Spotify.
Testing 1, 2.
You ready, honey? My life got me walking this weird way at the moment. Not a care in the world, I just want to let it go.
Daddy Gang, hello, this is amazing. This is what we live for.
The Joe Rogan Experience. You never know where it's going to take you.
They gave us a terrible game, and it was more terrible than we could have imagined.
We're even more confused than when we started.
Yeah, a lot of people are right and no one's right.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard. Hey, welcome to Archetypes. Let's do this.
My new podcast, The System.
Spotify is the new destination for all things anything goes.
My job is to build a platform that people can be empowered by.
Spotify original podcast. DC and Spotify present Batman Unburied.
Executive producer Jordan Peele. Quiet, hard, loud.
You're not asking the right questions.
What are the right questions?
Ask me how the world ends.
Sempre salvo, só chegar no Spotify.
And this is Sex, Lies, and DM Slides.
Streaming platforms, Spotify, podcast giving.
There's a lot to be excited about.
Like video?
Seu podcast com vídeo aqui no Spotify.
More and more consumers are actually watching their favorite podcasts, not just listening.
Is this podcast visual or audio?
Visual.
Well, you are a fantastic interviewer.
Video has definitely helped our podcast. It has allowed us to connect deeper with our audience.
With video, we're able to reach a bigger audience now.
Let me know.
What I love about podcasts is it's really helped me view the world in a different way. I've really enjoyed doing it on Spotify. It's been a pleasure to be a part of the biggest podcast platform in the world.
Only on Spotify.
Only on Spotify.
Only on Spotify.
Exclusively on Spotify.
Exclusively on Spotify.
On Spotify.
In Spotify. On Spotify.
Spotify.
Exclusively
On Spotify.
On Spotify.
I love you.
So, as you just saw, our success is rooted in support for creators and genuine appreciation for the power and the intimacy of this medium. Case 63 is a perfect example of this. It was created by Chilean writer Julio Rojas and shows how a brilliant local Spotify original became the most streamed scripted podcast in the world. This time-bending love story captivated audiences in Chile, and we saw the potential for a global hit. So we adapted it into multiple languages and markets, including India, Brazil, and most recently, the US, where a spectacular cast led by Julianne Moore and Oscar Isaac helped drive it to #1 in 8 additional markets. And now it's being developed into a feature film. All of this from the mind of one inspired creator. Case 63 was also one of our Wrapped top global podcasts for 2022, along with the Joe Rogan Experience, Call Her Daddy, and our newest exclusive, Anything Goes with Emma Chamberlain, meaning that Spotify has 4 of the top 5 biggest hits worldwide. Many of our top hosts are also pioneers in video podcasting. It's no surprise that adding video has really helped them connect with fans on a deeper level. Take this special episode we just recorded with Alex Cooper and host Lena Situations, who is a huge social media star in France. We had 2 of the biggest voices from 2 different countries sit down to talk about what it's like for them to be young women in a male-dominated industry. Not only does video allow us to capture this great crossover moment, but you get to feel like you're a fly on the wall for this intimate, personal conversation between friends. Audiences love having the option to either watch or listen, or sometimes both, and in this case, fans were able to watch it either in English or dubbed or subtitled in French. We're seeing more and more creators starting to embrace video. In fact, it's one of the fastest growing areas of podcasting, and we expect that growth to continue. Right now, we have over 70,000 video creators on the platform, with a lot more on the way. Forbidden Fruits with Julia Fox and Nikki Takesh will return for season 2 with an exclusive video edition. Who wouldn't want to see what these 2 fashion icons are wearing episode to episode? And we're bringing Drew Afuala's video podcast, The Comment Section, exclusively to Spotify starting on April 5th. We're also rolling out limited video series from other top podcasters like Mindset Mentor with Rob Dial, as well as innovative partnerships with Collab, Creative Juice, Get Engaged Media, Golden Child, and Carrot. We are committed to introducing millions of new listeners to podcasting, and we want to empower more creators to tell their stories on Spotify. Creators who understand the power of audio to spark new conversations or challenge old ideas, even at times build entire storytelling universes, like one that begins on a rainy night in Gotham City. And on that note, I will leave you with a message from the Riddler himself, Hasan Minhaj.
This past summer, the first season of Batman Unburied made history when it debuted simultaneously in 9 languages in top charts in 35 countries around the world. The success has continued with the premiere of Harley Quinn and the Joker Sound Mind, which has already hit #1 on the Spotify charts in 6 markets. Look, the real reason why I'm here today is that it is my privilege to announce that audiences are gonna travel back to Gotham City with me in a story that leaves clues, puzzles, and shines a spotlight on my personal favorite character, the Riddler. Okay, I can give you all a little inside info. Everything you loved about Batman Unburied, Batman, the Riddler, Barbara Gordon, and several others, all of these iconic characters will be returning to Gotham City, but this time, instead of Batman saving the Riddler, Batman needs Riddler's help to save the Bat from certain death. And this time, finally, the Riddler gets the spotlight that he deserves. We've got an amazing cast and creative team led by Phantom 4, and of course, the brilliant filmmaker, novelist, and comic book writer, my dude, David S. Goyer. I grew up loving comics and the graphic novels that DC did, and I've been doing comedy almost 20 years. It's a deep, indelible part of my identity. I identify as a comic, and one of the things that I'm so grateful for is I get to be playing an iconic character like the Riddler. In a million years, I would have never thought that I'd be included in the canon and the history of Edward Nygma, but, you know, dreams do come true. The Riddler, Secrets in the Dark, will debut exclusively on Spotify later this year. Now, without further ado, I'm excited to turn it over to someone who knows the power of storytelling, from podcasts to the Boston Celtics. Give it up for Bill Simmons.
Thank you. Leave it to the Riddler to bring up the Celtics. I am Bill Simmons, disgruntled Boston fan, head of The Ringer here at Spotify. Great to see you all. At The Ringer, we love to experiment with different kinds of formats. Video is one that we've come back to over and over again. By doing side-by-side interview panels, instant reaction podcasts, we basically mastered companion podcasting. And we're always launching something fresh, new shows that stand out in their own ways. Most recently, gotten excited about developing a brand new game show, which we will be sharing more info about very soon. So 3 years ago, The Ringer became part of Spotify. Since then, we have grown from, I remember when we had 2 shows, now we have 50 plus shows producing over 100 hours of new global content per week across sports, TV, film, music, current events. It is a scintillating era for our creators and fans, and it's just the latest in our incredible history here at The Ringer. Our formula is simple. First, we find passionate people who do deep research, have an irresistible, sometimes contrarian, sometimes a little crazy point of view, and then we put Spotify's machine of unrivaled reach, data, and resources behind them. And to date, that formula has paid off for us, my friends. We have the #1 collection of NFL and NBA podcasts. We have the #1 nerd culture podcast, The Ringerverse. And by supporting brilliant creators like Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay, we've launched breakout hits like Higher Learning, which was recently nominated for an NAACP Image Award. So we're always on the hunt for more voices that break through the noise and explode across the industry. Creators out there, I'm talking to you. That's why we'd like to see more of you grabbing the mic. And I love that Spotify is building tools to make it easier for every creator. So let's go to my friend Maya to learn more.
Thank you, Bill. Shows like The Riddler and The Ringerverse remind us of the unlimited potential in podcasting. The ability for anyone, anywhere, to grab the mic, a camera, or even just their phone, and create something that connects them with people all around the world. I lead Spotify's podcast product development, the team that's dedicated to building the best podcast and video tools for creators. Empowering creators is central to everything we do at Spotify. Whether you're native to audio or video, we're committed to building the platform you need to make great content and find success. So far, we've built a lot of unique creator tools, but they've been across multiple separate platforms. Even within the Spotify ecosystem, you've had to make and upload episodes with one tool, monetize them with another, and track your data with a third. That's just too complicated. And it means that some of you haven't had access to everything you need. So now we're combining our tools into one platform that works for everyone. Today, I'm so proud to introduce the all-new Spotify for Podcasters. This brings together the best of those creator tools into a one-stop shop with everything you need to create, publish, manage, and most importantly, to monetize and grow your show. The new Spotify for Podcasters is available to everyone in every Spotify market for free, beginning now. This platform is the foundation that finally enables us to build the future of podcasting together with you, the creators. It makes it easier than ever to create and grow your podcast. And it also enables us to provide new innovative features that help you better engage with your listeners. That includes things like polls, Q&As, video, and starting today, we're also adding podcast chapters. This feature lets you create thematic sections in your episodes so listeners can easily browse through the topics you cover. Chapters are available now for all podcasts. All you have to do is include timestamps in your episode descriptions, and they'll show up on Spotify automatically. And that's just the beginning of the features we'll be rolling out this year for all podcasters. Now, here to help me show you what the new podcast experience for creators looks like is one of the top podcasters in the world and someone who's already embraced the future of the medium, Alex Cooper.
What's up, Daddy Gang? Let me give you a sneak peek into what the new Spotify for Podcasters looks like for me and my team. Starting today, when I log in, everything is in one place and super clear. The first thing I see in my podcast's dashboard, my home base to publish episodes, see my data and how my show's doing on Spotify, and add extra features to my episodes. I can create or upload episodes to publish instantly. I can add video, which is a crucial element for my show and helps me take full advantage of that new home feed Gustav shared. And I can add my audience Q&As and polls to my episodes, so I can hear directly from my real fans, and trust me, the Daddy Gang has a lot to say. I can also use Spotify's analytics to track how my podcast is performing and gain a deeper look into my audience's listening habits, not to mention seeing when my show is charting or getting added to podcasts playlists.
Before now, most of these features were only available to creators hosted on Anchor. But now, Anchor is becoming part of Spotify for podcasters, which means we can start opening up everything Spotify has to offer to all creators. That means going forward, all podcasters will have access to the tools and features we're building, no matter where their show is hosted. Starting today, all podcasters across the globe can access Q&As and polls, as well as advanced insights and analytics on Spotify. We're also starting to roll out video access to more creators, as Gustav mentioned earlier. Beginning today, you can sign up to be one of the first to get access at spotify.com/video. These new tools in Spotify for podcasters also work seamlessly for creators using Megaphone, Spotify's hosting solution for enterprise publishers. Megaphone will be uniquely integrated into Spotify for podcasters in the future, but as of today, all Megaphone publishers, representing a wide array of partners from around the world, which now includes Netflix and Schwartz Media, have everything they need to create a successful podcast business on Spotify. Stay tuned for more. Later this year, we'll be investing in even more ways for you to find and grow your audience and connect with your biggest fans on Spotify. If you're already on Anchor or Spotify for podcasters, nothing changes for your show besides the new features you'll have access to. All you have to do is log in. If you're new to Spotify for podcasters, you can sign up today using your Spotify login. There's no need to switch your hosting platform to access these new features. And if you're not on Spotify yet, now is the best time to start. We're so excited to unlock the full power of Spotify for all creators, as artists and as entrepreneurs who've paved their own paths to success. Creators like you, Alex.
Thank you, Maya. I want to share how some of these features have made a big impact for me and my show. Video episodes of Call Her Daddy not only get more engagement than audio-only episodes, they've also helped me expand my artistic capabilities to formats like documentary-style reporting. And I've been absolutely floored by the response to the Q&As on my podcast episodes. Spotify's unique solution to Q&A, where I approve the questions and answers, helps me keep creeps out of my comments, we love that, so I can focus on my actual fans. That's how I realized how much my audience loves hearing from musicians, so I've been able to go out and book that talent that my audience really wants to hear from. As someone who has been in the podcast game quite a long time, I'm well aware of the complexity of producing a show. The tech behind getting a podcast published used to feel like a whole different skill set from the content creation itself. But Spotify for podcasters makes it feel as simple as hitting post on a photo or video, so we as creators can just focus on making great content. The technology driving your podcast is so important when you're building a content business. But at the end of the day, your show comes down to you and your voice. I personally love the process of recording, and I'm excited for more people to get to experience it with Spotify's help.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
We've been opening up Spotify studios around the world, including right here in LA, to help creators bring their wildest ideas to life. And we're dedicated to making those dreams a reality for more creators than ever before. Starting today, any podcaster can apply for Spotify Labs, a series of workshops around the world that'll provide opportunities to create in our world-class production studios, learn from Spotify experts, and connect with fellow podcasters and artists. Many top podcasters already know that Spotify is the place to be. And we love hearing about all the ways our platform has fueled their success. We at Spotify want to be the home for all kinds of creators, from massive global stars like Alex and Lena Situations to distinctive voices just beginning to build an audience. Here to share more and to talk with one of those top podcasters, please welcome back Julie McNamara.
As you just heard, Spotify offers game-changing opportunities to turn your passion into a profession. With that in mind, I'm thrilled to welcome a true trailblazer and one of our newest partners, Emma Chamberlain. We are just thrilled to have you here, Emma.
Thank you.
And thrilled to have you on the platform.
Thank
I think
you.
it's been 2 weeks now.
Yes, 2 weeks.
Woo!
It's been amazing so far.
Good, good, good. Well, we have a lot of creators watching today, and you are iconic as a creator in this space. So truthful, vulnerable. I'm sure they'd love to hear a little bit about what drew you to podcasting as the medium for you.
I think my favorite thing about podcasting is the ability to communicate long form. Podcasting is about developing an idea, having a conversation, and I just think podcasting allows that in a way that no other medium does.
That makes total sense, that, yeah, you get to really tell a narrative in a way.
Yes, yes.
Well, I know now you've started experimenting with video.
Yes.
And I'd love to hear how that's going for you and what you feel that that's adding.
I think video just adds another dimension. Like, audio is incredibly powerful, but seeing somebody's body language, seeing somebody's facial expressions, it feels more intimate, and I think it just allows for even more connection through the screen, through the ears, you know? I love video. I think it's great.
Well, your fans are, clearly loving what you're doing. They'll follow you in any direction you want to go. And I may have a little breaking news to share with you today that you don't know.
Live breaking news?
Breaking
Whoa,
news.
okay,
News
let's
just
hear it.
in.
Yeah.
That your podcast has doubled in listenership, more than doubled since you've been on Spotify.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Woo! Cool! Wait, that's amazing. This is genuinely breaking news. Okay, that's amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you, and just cannot wait to see what you're gonna do next.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna turn it over now to another brilliant creator who's built an incredible community just by being himself. He's the one and only Markiplier.
Hello, my name is Markiplier. I make videos. I've been making them for a long time. And in that time, I've been on stages, I've done presentations, I've done like shows and stuff, but I've never used a teleprompter before. And I don't intend to start today. Because what I'm here to tell you, and don't worry, I'll be good. All the producers freaking out, I will be good. Because I'm here to tell you that my podcast, Distractable and Go My Favorite Sports Team, are going to be bringing video episodes to Spotify exclusively today. Maybe I should have used the teleprompter there. But the reason that I'm talking about that is because I love the genuine feeling of these podcasts. I love the genuine conversation that you have when you're just talking with your friends. And to me, that's what podcasts are all about. It's conversations. It's people trying to listen and hear and feel like they can relate to the people that are talking about whatever they're talking about. It's so they can feel like they're in the room with you and share with their friends. And bringing video into the mix allows us to expand beyond just being a voice in their ear. It allows us to be in the room with them. I've been making videos a very long time, and I love making videos. I love doing all of this. It's a beautiful process of creation that just allows people to express themselves in whatever way they want, to be themselves, as they said back there. And I'm gonna take all of the teachings and skills that I've built from making videos on YouTube and expanding it into exploring new territories on Spotify, and also help out where I can to let them expand the platform as well, as best I can anyway. So With that, hopefully the freaking out isn't too bad back there, and I can introduce the next guest. Please help me in welcoming Alex Nordstrom, Spotify's
Thank you, Mark, and you are right. It is great to see your face. Good face indeed. Welcome to Spotify. Today, I want to talk about what we really mean when we say we want to be the best home for you, the world's artists and creators. As you've seen today, Spotify is coming alive. We're upgrading the platform to create more opportunities for fans to lean in and get closer to your work. Above all, when we say we want to be the best home for the world's creators, we mean that Spotify is where you can build your career. Wherever you are in your journey, our job is to help you reach more fans and monetize your art. This is the mission that drives us. At the last Stream On, we had almost 350 million users across 96 markets. Today, we are in 184 markets with more than 500 million users. Looking ahead, our ambition is to have 1 billion users on Spotify by 2030. We are by far the most global audio platform, connecting artists with fans across continents and genres and cultures. We're helping local artists like Fade, Arya Starr, and Diljit Dosanjh to grow their audiences at home, but also reach new listeners abroad. Over the last decade, as streaming has been adopted worldwide, our global expansion has transformed listening habits. We now have the platform to unlock the ability of any artist from anywhere in the world to connect with listeners everywhere. And one of the most impactful ways we help you connect with fans is through our powerful community of subscribers. And in fact, that community is now over 200 million strong. That's about 3% of the world's population, paying monthly, so they can have uninterrupted access to your art. This is huge. This community is a superpower for Spotify. And for you, the artists and creators on our platform. Our subscribers are your loyal fans. Subscribers, they're the first to listen when you drop a new track, and they stay with you for the long term. They keep listening and they keep discovering. For example, they stream more than 3 times the amount of content per month compared to a free user. And so one of the key things that makes Spotify such an exceptional home for artists is the fact that we're home to this enormous and passionate community of paying listeners. And we're not stopping here. Our distribution power will only increase. Remember, our job is to help you, the artists and creators, to connect with these users. Now, I want to focus on podcasters for a moment. Specifically, I want to talk about how we're helping you monetize your shows, giving you multiple ways to earn. Let's start with ads. We first announced the Spotify Audience Network, or SPAN for short, at the last Stream On. So SPAN is our audio-first marketplace that connects publishers and creators with advertisers. Thousands of podcasts from creators and publishers around the world are already part of this network. From the Wall Street Journal, ESPN, Paramount, and indie shows like r/, and Tiny Leaps, Big Changes. In fact, the number of podcasters taking part in SPAN has grown 8-fold in the last 2 years. And today, we're pleased to announce NPR is the latest publisher to join the network. Wow. So advertisers, they know that podcasts are a great way to reach audiences. And SPAN makes it easy for them to engage podcast listeners and understand results. And when advertisers understand the power of a network, they spend more. And creators like you make more. So since we launched SPAN in 2021, monthly payouts to publishers have grown by nearly 50%. And advertiser participation has increased by 500%. So So as we continue to scale Span, our intent is to make this kind of growth available to all creators. And later this year, we'll be launching in even more markets. So advertising isn't the only way we're helping podcasters make money. If you have a podcast on Spotify, you can also earn revenue via podcast subscriptions, which enables you to gate some or all of your content so it can only be accessed by paying subscribers at a price that you set. And today, we are also excited to announce Patreon as a monetization partner, meaning that podcasters will be able to offer Patreon-exclusive content to listeners on Spotify. And we know that many podcasters use Patreon to earn income directly from their biggest fans. And so in the coming months, fans will be able to easily link their Patreon accounts to access these shows on Spotify. Everyone benefits from this. Spotify users can listen to all their favorite content in one place. And at the same time, Patreon podcasters can increase their income and grow their audience. So these tools give you the ability to choose how you monetize. I will continue to explore more options for how to build your business. And of course, Spotify remains an open platform for podcast monetization. We know firsthand how important it is to give creators choice, including how they leverage their own ads and revenue mechanisms. So we've framed the global scale and the power of our audience, and we've talked about the tools to help you monetize. Now, let's get into how we're using the power of our brand and our marketing money to celebrate and amplify artists and creators around the world. We use the strength of our brand to shine a spotlight on new releases. We champion both emerging and established creators, and we mark milestone moments in your career, from Times Square in New York City to Spotify Camp Nou in Barcelona, from Mumbai to Cape Town to Sao Paulo. We're proud to amplify your work. Let's take a look.
Thank you to my top listeners from this year.
Spotify Rap.
Spotify informs me that I am in the top 1% of Harry Styles listeners worldwide.
Big love to all the listeners of Spotify.
Thank you for listening to our music this year.
When I started seeing all the people that it could reach and all the people that it did reach, it was when I realized that this thing that I've been doing and that I've been working at can actually work for me. And I thought that was crazy.
Let's begin.
Without all your love and support.
One example you saw there was our partnership with FC Barcelona, which is connecting artists, players, and football players and fans all around the world. We have something pretty special planned for the men's and women's El Clasico. That's later this month, so stay tuned. So to wrap up, if you want to build your brand, grow your fan base, and earn money on Spotify, here's what you can expect from us. We will continue to grow our global user and creator community. So whatever corner of the world you work in and wherever your fans are located, you can find each other on Spotify, giving you unparalleled global reach. We will continue to champion your work, leveraging the personalization power of our platform and combining it with our world-class brand and marketing. All so we can help you grow your audience. And we will also continue to invest in the platform. And as you've seen today, we're providing you with the best resources to interact with your fans. And we're hard at work creating new opportunities to help you further monetize your content. In short, creators, your success is our success. And this principle is often overused, but it absolutely applies here. It has inspired the new user experience we shared today, and it will continue to guide us for many years to come. Thank you. Now I'm going to throw back to Daniel.
All right, we've shared a lot today, but I hope you see this event for what it really is, an invitation. We want you to think of Spotify as the sandbox to play, to experiment, and to create. And as we grow together, we aim to be the best home for you, no matter where you are in your career. And we want to be a home that's rooted in music, where new stories are always being told. A home that's familiar, but always changing. A home where you, as a creator, feel empowered to grow on your own terms, and where you can find all the new tools that you need to unlock that extraordinary entrepreneurial power of your work. And where you have all the help you need to create, to monetize, and to build your audience. At Spotify, we believe change is the only constant. And that notion is so core to who we are that it's embedded in our team manifesto. We've never been content to sit idly by and wait for others to forge new paths. We want to learn faster than the world around us. And to do this, we've dedicated ourselves to relentless innovation. And therein lies my commitment. We're going to keep building, we're going to keep improving, and we're going to reimagine this home day and night with passion and determination. And we'll continue to look at you, the creator community, for ideas and for inspiration. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I can't wait to see how you start using what we're launching here today. Thank you, everyone.